ABC 13 Eyewitness News at 4 starts now.
Right now at 4 o'clock, another afternoon of thunderstorms popping up all around southeast Texas.
We want to give you a live look right now from our crews who are on the roads catching all that rain out there. This is on the East Beltway going north. We're going to head over to meteorologist Rachel Bryers to see where the rain is now and when it will move out.
Yeah, and that rain, it is tracking off to the northeast right now. We still do have a few showers and storms, though, continuing to move through the area. About to have another storm actually roll through the city of Houston. So let's go ahead and let's break down this radar here by area. We have a storm currently over towards Missouri City as well as over towards the Sugar Land area. This will continue to the northeast, making its way into parts of Houston soon enough. So expect some lightning and also some pockets of heavy rainfall. But notice that storm, it is on the small side. So although you may see some heavy rain, it should be rather brief in nature. And then also over towards Pasadena, get ready for another storm there as well. Also moving off to the northeast. Same thing right in between Humble and Crosby over towards Atascocita, seeing one of those storms there moving off to the northeast. And we also have another one stretching back over towards New Caney. Now I also want to head over to the west, over towards Wallace and over towards Sealy. Another storm there, same threats there. Pockets of heavy rain and also that lightning. And then also over here to the east as we head just to the east of Liberty over towards Devers. Also seeing some lightning strikes coming in that area. But the good news is these storms have been moving at a relatively good pace. So we haven't really had many instances of street flooding. Have we seen a little bit of ponding? Yes. And we all know that it really doesn't create, when it comes to rainfall, you don't need much to create some issues out on those roadways as well. So if you are trying to get out and about, make sure you give yourself some extra time if you are going to be getting in some of that rainfall. And outside right now, something great about this rain, is we are looking at some slightly cooler temperatures. We'll take a closer look at our next rain chance coming up tomorrow in my full forecast.
And we are checking out the traffic data in those locations where Rachel is telling us we are seeing some storms come through at the moment. The Southwest Freeway outbound toward Sugar Land, Missouri City, also toward Hobby Airport, the Gulf Freeway outbound toward Beltway 8. Let me give you a look at what we're talking about, the driving conditions outbound on the Southwest Freeway at Belfort right now. Another look at the Southwest Freeway. You can see as you head down the Southwest Freeway toward Sugar Land, this is US 90A, those driving conditions are still slick out there and the speeds still slow. We do also want to give you a look at what's happening on the Gulf Freeway at FM 1959 Dixie Farm Road. Traffic volume, not an issue, but driving conditions are slick roads out there on the interstate. So just be careful out there, especially as you see those storms roll through.
Thanks, Elisa. The first federal lawsuit over Governor Greg Abbott's order banning any mask mandates has just been filed today. Disability Rights Texas filed the suit against the governor and the head of the Texas Education Agency. The group is the advocacy agency for Texans with disabilities. The suit filed on behalf of 14 child plaintiffs says the ban on mask mandates puts students with disabilities at significant risk. The suit also claims the ban is discriminatory and violates the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act. Governor Abbott has said that the ban on mask mandates does not prevent anyone from wearing a mask. He also encouraged Texans to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, his office just sent us a statement on that new lawsuit saying Governor Abbott cares deeply about the health and safety of disabled students, and as he does for all Texas students. Since his accident that left him paralyzed, the governor has worked throughout his career to protect the rights of all those with disabilities in Texas. Now, Governor Abbott's ban against mask mandates has proven to be a lightning rod for parents in districts across the state of Texas. The Texas Supreme Court recently ruling that Dallas and Bexar counties could not enforce their mask mandate.
Meanwhile, Harris County's mandate is still on right now, but now schools are getting creative with how they're requiring masks on students. And as ABC 13's Chaz Miller explains, he's live there in Texas City with the details. A lot of these schools are trying to do something different to get the students to wear the masks. Chaz?
Yeah, Chauncey, today is actually the first day of school for Texas City ISD. Normally, that's a quiet day. You come in, you meet the teacher, you see some old friends. But everything changed last night when the Texas City School Board decided to add these masks to the city's dress code. not a mask mandate, they've added it to the dress code, meaning that just like you can't go to a Texas City school with pink hair or shorts that are too short, you can't go to a Texas City ISD school without wearing one of these. Now, as we know, and as you guys just mentioned, masks are something of a lightning rod. So what did parents have to say about this? Well, outside of Blocker Middle School earlier today, it was kind of a tale of two very different stories within a quick amount of time. I got out here at about 1:20, and there's actually a small group of parents outside of the district's main administration building, which is right next door to Blocker, protesting this change to the dress code. They equated wearing masks to child abuse, and they said that masks weren't required because they didn't feel like the pandemic was deadly enough for something like that to come into effect. Just an hour or so later, it was about time for kids at Blocker to be picked up, and the story was incredibly different. Every car that I went up to in the drop-off and pickup line, they were all for adding masks to the dress code. I talked to a nurse who said she was all for it. I talked to a mom of a disabled student. She said she wanted to keep her son protected. I even spoke with a grandmother who said she planned on sending her grandkid to school with a mask before that dress code change was ever put into effect. Now, the one complaint I did hear from some parents who were in favor of masks, they weren't thrilled that the district made this decision the night before school started, but the school district superintendent says they took everything into account, and at the end of the day, they felt like masks were needed.
I understand that this is hard, and I understand that people want to make choices for themselves. I get that, and I empathize with those families and with those individuals outside of administration. But we also have a responsibility as a district to take care of our children when they are in our care.
And now Dr. Duarte did acknowledge she knows it's not out of the question that some legal action could come from this. She says they're prepared to take that on. They want to do what they feel is best for their students. They'll also provide masks for students if they come to school without one, which begs the question, what happens if a kid comes to a Texas City ISD school without a mask on and doesn't put one on? Well, that happened this morning. A mom was rolling on it, and we'll show you that video on Eyewitness News at 6. Live in Texas City, I'm Chaz Miller, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
And Chaz, we'll see you at 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, today our investigative team digging up disturbing numbers on COVID cases in Houston area school districts.
ABC 13 investigative reporter Ted Ober joining us now this afternoon to break it all down. Ted, what did you find out?
Yeah, Myra and Chauncey, it seems like we are getting a ton of emails as parents about COVID notifications in our inbox every day from our kids' schools. I imagine a lot of you are getting those as well. The data backs that up. Schools, by the way, doing a great job reporting active COVID cases. Some districts even breaking it down by campus. The latest reporting showing 2,929 total active cases in Houston area schools that are open already. About 2/3 of these are students. The rest are staff. Keep in mind, some of the larger districts like Houston and Cy-Fair don't open until next Monday. While that 3,000 number is pretty big, here is something that could be slightly more concerning. 689 new cases reported in schools that were open at least 2 days in our survey. That is a 40% growth rate overnight in those schools that are reporting at least 2 days worth of data. And as a parent, that has to alarm you when you see schools adding that many cases overnight. Look at a couple of these specifics here. In Humble ISD, 91 new cases overnight. Fort Bend, 94. But up in Conroe, 275 new cases among students and staff overnight. And that is an alarming number. These, by the way, some of the biggest districts that are already open, and that's certainly an outlier. We've asked Conroe about it, and hopefully they will get back to us before the afternoon is over. We know you want to do your own investigation into this, which is why we've made it easy. There's a map online of all the data we have, so you can check it out yourself. The link will soon be at the top of my Twitter page. Myra?
All right, Ted, thank you so much. Well, COVID-19 appears to be having more effect on kids' grades. Test scores of students in numerous states fell noticeably lower this spring compared to the pre-pandemic era.